Hello everyone. How are you? Hope you're all doing fine and there are no new conflicts arising at your workplace. Conflicts are taken as something very negative but should not be taken as such because difference of opinion is sure to arise where two or more human beings are working together, where two or more groups are working together, where there are two or more departments within the same organization working together. So it's natural because everybody has a different way of looking at things. That's why I have come up with this topic of workplace conflict resolution free online workshop on this. It's a very important and very sensitive topic, and if the conflict is the evil is nipped in the bud, then what happens, that conflict can become constructive actually for the organization. That can become something positive for the organization, that can take the organization forward, as different ideas can converge to make a good idea that can benefit the company. So this is what our discussion has been throughout the last two parts of this workshop, and those were actually the first two parts of the workshop, and today is the third part of this workshop, and we will be discussing something in continuation of what we have been discussing already. The topic remains the same, but the theme today will be a bit different. It will be about line managers, their responsibilities, how they should act, how they should not act, and how they can help in mitigating or instigating a conflict. Things of that sort we will be discussing today. And all those who are my YouTube channel family members here, they already know why I started this channel, with what aim and what was in my mind. And all those who are not yet our family members here on this channel, I invite them all, welcome them all into our family, our YouTube channel family. Kindly subscribe to the channel and let's go on with the discussion. Now, there can be various ways in which line managers can instigate or create or help in bringing around a conflict within the organization. There are so many different people working at different levels within the same organization. Some people say there can be a team of 5 to 6 people if that's a small team, and there can be a team leader among them who can be called the line manager. So there are so many line managers amongst us. Even at home, aren't we line managers actually? We are managing our homes, our families, and there are of course people in our families, thank God, and we are managing those people. So within a family, at home also conflicts might arise. Now, what should be done, what should not be done at the workplace by the line managers to not become partners in bringing around a conflict. And what happens when sometimes we act not in a very good manner, and we become the harbingers of conflict as line managers? Well, different situations might arise. Line manager is a person who is looked up to by the teammates, and actually whatever the line manager does or the behavior of the line manager has a trickle down effect upon the teammates. If the line manager is positive, if the line manager is somebody who is able to work with the whole team, does not have favoritisms or things of that sort, does not reprimand one person of the team in front of the other people, the other team members, and is a positive person, consults with his or her team members, and when taking decisions takes them into confidence as well. If that kind of a line manager is the person in charge, then the atmosphere remains positive. And because the atmosphere remains positive, people give in their best to their work, whatever they are doing, whatever project they are working on, whatever their duties are. They give in their best, and also their relations with the line manager and amongst themselves remain good. If on the other hand the line manager is bullying people around, or maybe not bullying them, but showing favoritism towards, say, one or two team members, and the rest feel that they are ignored or their interests are not looked after by the line manager, as well as the interests of those one or two people he favorites or she favorites, then what happens? Then negative feelings develop. And when negative feelings develop, then conflicts might arise. And this is how a line manager becomes handy in creating conflict. Otherwise also, a line manager who is not able to, or who does not take his or her team into confidence, or does not consult with his or her team when taking certain decisions, management decisions probably, or decisions about the project. They can be any. If the consultation process is not there, then also negative feelings develop. And sometimes we have line managers of the sort who start thinking that because I'm the line manager, everybody is my subordinate and they should come to me, they should salute me, things of that sort. I should not go to them. In fact, if the line manager goes to his or her team members and greets them properly and well, and everything is going fine between the team members and the line manager, then a positive atmosphere exudes, and in that positive atmosphere, positive working is done. And if that does not happen, then conflicts might arise, because everything is negative in everybody's mind, in the minds of all the team members also. So when things are negative in the minds of people working together, then conflicts are sure to arise. So line managers must take care of how they are behaving in order to stop conflicts. And at this juncture, while we are discussing all these things, let's take a break and think about our attitudes at workplace, how we behave as line managers, and do you think we personally need to correct something in ourselves? Well, all of you know about yourselves, how you work. You're not going to tell me, or we are not going to tell each other about it. Just think. Let's have an introspection session and think about it, and think if there is some room for improvement, and if there is, let's improve it. Well, I have given this image kind of a picture here in which you can see the path of conflict. And what is this path of conflict? This is a very interesting and very simple as well when you go through it. Whenever in an organization, when people are working together, a precipitating event or hot buttons are present, then they can initiate conflict. Whenever there are such things present within the organization, within the people working together, that might instigate certain conflict. It can be the conflict of interest, it can be a conflict in any manner. It can be the conflict in the way different people are thinking. So it can be in any way. That is there, the hot button is there, and that is something that can initiate conflict very easily. And when that happens, when a conflict is initiated, then how do line managers have to take it up? how they take it up, and what happens as the result of their reaction to the conflict in the way that they have reacted to it. We're going to discuss that. First, we are going to discuss a task-focused conflict. Well, something is going on, a project is going on, people are working on it, they're thinking differently about it. Different people are thinking differently, their opinions are different, and because their opinions are different, they collide with each other at some points, at some levels, and that is called cognitive conflict. The level of that conflict is cognitive. It's not personal, it's cognitive, because it's because of the differences of opinion. Now, if the conflict by the line manager is handled in a positive manner, how will it be handled? The line manager will focus on the task, will not focus on the people who are involved in the conflict. Like he or she will not say that Miss A or Mr. A and Miss B or Mr. B, they are in conflict. He or she will just say that they have this difference of opinion and their opinions are differing here. Okay? And because the line manager will take the conflict in that manner, the line manager will focus on the task and will focus on problem solving. How can that problem be solved? The problem of the conflict, how can it be solved? Now, this will have a positive effect on the work environment, on the people who have differing opinions. Fine? So, when that has a positive effect, then the tension between the two persons will decrease. And when the tension between two people decreases, then group functioning or team functioning, that improves, that becomes better, and as a result the conflict de-escalates. Now, on the other hand, if the same conflict is handled in the manner where the line manager starts taking it as at the personal level, he will be destructive. And how will he be destructive? He will show behavior that will prolong the conflict. And what behavior will that be? That will be emotional behavior. That will be he will be tackling, or she will be tackling the conflict in a way that these two people who have different opinions, he or she will not be focusing on the difference of opinions. He and she or she will be focusing on the differences between the two people who have different opinions. So the whole atmosphere will become emotional and aggressive at the same time. Frustration will arise. So a negative impact will be the result. And because of that, tension between the two people, the two persons will increase, and tension will increase within the team, and the group functioning or the team functioning, that will decrease, and conflict will escalate. So these are the two different responses of the line managers that can either further instigate the conflict or de-escalate the conflict. Now, what I'm going to discuss with you here is strong management and management that bullies their staff members. Well, when people are working in any organization, it's natural. Sometimes their performance will be good, sometimes it will not be up to the mark. And what happens when the performance is not up to the mark? Then a conflict arises between the management and the team members or the subordinates, and tension escalates between the two. Now, there are different ways the management can address these problems and save the organization from conflicts. What are those different ways, and how different managements can react differently to these kind of situations? Well, let's take an example. Addressing poor performance in teams by how can that be done? A strong management will identify the performance issue, whatever that is, and how will they identify the issue? They will look at the reasons of poor performance by their different team members, and they will look at what can be those reasons. There can be the reason can be people, it can be systems, it can be the training and equipment that is available for the team members to because probably they are inadequately trained for what they are doing, or things of that sort. So there can be any reason, for that dearth in performance, for that decrease, for that drop down of performance. The reason can be people, the reason can be systems, the reason can be dearth of training, the reason can be inadequate equipment. So a strong management will look at all those things. While on the other hand, if the management is just bullying its team, they do not attempt to identify the causes of poor performance. They do not look at things in that way. They do not think about it. They do not give their people the human margin. They do not give their people the chance, to be better workers. Now, the performance of an individual or a team has been unacceptable. What should be done? The views of the team or individual on why the performance dropped or why did it become unacceptable should be taken. Now, a strong management can do that only. The strong management will give the opportunity to its team members to discuss and identify the issues within the team or within the working environment that help it prevent good work by the team members or one of the team members, anything of that sort. Those problems they will give the team the opportunity to identify those problems and then identify the solutions to those problems, also discuss them and come up with solutions and tell the team management what should be done in order to elevate the performance of the team. So that is something a strong management will do. On the other hand, a bullying management will not do that. They will not give any opportunity to the team members to discuss their difficulties, and they will just be dealing with them with a very, very hard hand. When in that manner, the strong management will take the feedback of the whole team, involve the whole team into new decision making, when the team will come up with different solutions to the problem of the drop down in the performance levels, then new standards will be set up by the management. The strong management will do that. The new standards of performance, KPIs, new KPIs will be set by the strong management, and that has been done with consultation with the team members. So all the team members will be involved in setting up those new KPIs, and they will all agree with them also then. And when they will all agree with them, they will feel the responsibility of performing better and behaving better. They will also set up standards of good behavior for the team members and for the team manager at the same time. So conflict will be on the way to resolution in a very positive manner. On the other hand, the bullying team will just impose new standards, new KPIs of performance, performance indicators, new performance indicators. They will just impose them without any healthy discussion, without any involvement of the team. So when the team is not involved, they will not feel indebted to perform well. Okay, so with a bullying team and with a strong team management, this will be the difference. So for the strong team management, when they have evolved a certain strategy, taking the team members into confidence, and they have evolved a strategy, and they have involved their team properly, fully, they will also evolve a strategy of monitoring them with their consent at the time that they think will be right for audit or for monitoring. So the team members will not feel bullied, will not feel pressurized in any way. And at the same time, this strong management will be monitoring their performance and openly discussing the outcome. Why? So that then there must come and will come a further improvement in the performance of the team as a whole. They will be fully involved. They will be, and with the results of the monitoring, each team member will be further polished, will become better, a better performer. His or her performance will grow because he or she will be guided towards growth by the strong team management. Okay? On the other hand, if the team management is bullying, then what will happen? They will set their own standards of monitoring, own timings of monitoring, will not involve team members at all. So monitoring or audit will come as a surprise to them, the team members. And when that will come as a surprise, will be unexpected by them, then it is very much obvious that their performance will lower, and they will not know how they are going to be judged. There will be no good communication between them. As a result, the work standard will drop further. So that's why a bullying team management is not going to positively, enhance the working of its team members. So I think this clarifies the point that a strong team management, when sees that their teams are failing to perform certain standards of performance, to bring about certain standards of performance in their work, they don't bully them, and they take this fact as a performance improvement issue. They focus their attention on how the performance of individuals can be improved, can become better, and how they can be supported. In fact, all the team members can be supported to make their performance better. How monitoring at all levels help actually their team members. So they will focus on that. Yes, of course, if certain team members, even then, they say that we are not going to comply with your standards, or they disagree, and they just don't want to become the part of the improvement process, then a strong management can take disciplinary action against them. Okay, but that can only be when certain individuals are totally adamant and do not want to improve their performance at all, despite the help provided by the strong management. On the other hand, a bullying management, what will a bullying management do? Any team that is not performing well, or any team members that are not performing well, will not be given a chance, or will not be monitored and guided to improve their performance. Rather, they will put them under pressure to perform well, and to put them under pressure, they can use any of the ways, negative ways at hand, like they can ridicule them, they can be sarcastic towards them, they can shout at them, they can withhold their benefits even, they can demote them, tease them, they can do anything that is negative. And when that happens, it's human psychology actually, that when you are dealt with in such a negative manner, you do not perform positive. You become a negative person, and when you become a negative person, nothing positive can be expected out of you. So with all that, we might sum up here that the strong management, when they have actually looked into the issues that brought up negative performance or low performance by the team members, and when they tried to solve those issues, paid attention to them, when they monitored and they guided their team members, then a stage would come when their performance will of course improve. What will they do now, the strong management? The strong management will recognize the positive contributions of the team members, and they will reward them also. Their positive attitude and their positive behavior and their positive performance will be rewarded by a strong management. Now with the bullying management, where there is no monitoring going on, where there is no guidance being given to the employees, to the team members, there it is impossible to recognize a positive behavior or a positive performance, because there is no monitoring, because nobody knows what's going on. So positive contributions, cannot be identified as such. And when positive contributions are not identified, only people who are the favorites of the management, they are rewarded. Okay, so that once again the cycle of feeling left out, or your feeling unrewarded, the negative feelings are going to be brought up again in the team members, and because they are again going to feel negative towards the organization, towards the top management, they are not going to give their best. Okay, so this is how bullying management, line managers who believe in bullying their teams, they harm the interests of the organization, they harm the interests of the workers, they harm the interests of the people, of the teams, of the groups working within the organization. Now, from this discussion, you must have understood that there are two different things that, with regard to conflict, that can exist within an organization. One is healthy conflict, and one is a bullying situation. Bullying situation in terms of a conflict. Okay, so what is the difference between healthy conflict and bullying situation? Let us discuss that. When it's a healthy conflict within the organization, as we have already been discussing, that can be positive, that can breed positive results for the organization. What will be manifested in a healthy conflict is that the roles and tasks that are given to different team members, they are clear. Okay, the communication lines are clear. The relations between the team members working together are collaborative. They collaborate with each other, they work together. Their ideas, can clash, or there can be conflict of ideas, or conflict of the differences, or there can be differences in opinion, but not at a personal level, not at an emotional level. Okay, there will be cognitive conflict, as we already discussed. The interpersonal relations between the team members will remain very, very open, very, very frank. The ethical behavior will remain good. They will discuss the conflict as per their cognitive approaches. Okay, and that is on the level of their thinking, what different schools of thought they are coming from. And because the discussion will be open, the conflict will be open, and the conflict will not be emotional or personalized, it will be healthy. it will be positive, because different solutions will then come out of it. They will identify solutions, and because of that straightforward communication between them, then when the solutions are identified, the performance level of the team members will increase, will escalate. Okay, so this is something that is a healthy conflict within the organization. On the other hand, a bullying situation or a negative, unhealthy conflict, what will that be within the organization? In that kind of conflict, the roles of the team members will not be clear. Okay, that is whose fault? The fault of the top management or the team management or the line manager. The roles of the team members will not be clear. Their behavior towards each other because of that will become uncooperative, because everybody will be working within himself or herself for his or her own interests, not the interests of the organization. The people working together will not be aware of what they are going to get as a team. They will not be working as a team, and because of that they will get emotional, they will get sarcastic, they will get aggressive, and that will breed a very negative environment and a very negative workplace. Because of that, the performance level of each of the individuals will drop. Unethical activities will take place. There will be many flaws, organizational flaws that will come up, that will be seen, and as a result, long lasting and systematic disputes will arise. Okay, and at the same time, among these negative attitudes, you will find that nobody will accept the fact that there is a conflict in the team or among the team members. Nobody will accept that. They will all go into a phase of denial and say there is no conflict between us, because that conflict will be on personal level and emotional level. That's why it will be denied. The conflict will not be on a cognitive level. It will not be denied when it's on the cognitive level and discussed as such. When here in the bullying situation, the conflict is not discussed at the cognitive level, it is at the personal or emotional level, then what will happen? It will become negative and it will be denied by people. People will never admit that there is a conflict, and the communication between the people is going to be evasive and oblique, not straightforward at all. So this will be the work environment. The work environment will become bullying, like the top management, and the conflict will become bullying. Okay, so this is a healthy conflict situation that we have discussed, and a bullying situation that we have discussed. This will be the difference between the two. So what do you think? There should be healthy conflicts within the organization or bullying situations? I know all of you will agree with me that conflicts should be kept healthy. So it is upon the line managers, it is upon the team management to keep the conflicts healthy within the same organization, and they can do that. So I think you must have enjoyed the discussion. You must have thought of different varying points out of this discussion, and if you liked it, please click the like button, please share it, and of course subscribe to the channel very quickly. And I think it's enough for this part 3 of this workshop on conflict resolution, workplace conflict resolution. Do subscribe to the channel and remember me in your prayers, please, and get ready for the 4th part of workshop on workplace conflict resolution. Take care. Cheers.